All right, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. So today we're going to be actually answering some of your questions with regards to the Monster Taming Direct. Pretty casual video, but I figured this would be a good way to sort of like let you guys know what the process is and stuff like that. We're going to be talking about, what's up with the release date. We're going to be talking about the idea of a second Direct in the same year. We're going to be talking about how submissions are decided upon and stuff like that. So over on the Discord server, I did ask people to ask me some questions about it for this video. I'm also going to be going over some frequently asked questions that I get in DMs and stuff like that. We're just going to jump right into the questions and then we'll go from there. So, Togap, fun name there, asked, are you doing a hard stop at 30 trailers or will it extend at all slightly based on entries? Now, I don't have a specific limit when it comes to entries. I do want the Direct to be somewhere around an hour. If I have a couple extra entries that I just think are so amazing, but like all the other entries are amazing, and it's gonna be over an hour, it'll be like an hour 5, hour 10, I'll still include them. On the flip side, if I only have a few entries that I think are great and the Direct's only gonna end up being 45 minutes and the other ones just, aren't up to snuff, or they're using default Unity assets or something like that, then I would have the Direct be 45 minutes in that case. Now, this year's Direct, I'm pretty sure is probably going to be over an hour. There's a ton of submissions and a lot of them are very good. And I'm not really hard stopping it there. But I don't want the Direct to be 2 hours long. Trust me, guys, I've been doing YouTube for a long time. A 2-hour Direct would be horrible for retention. It would hurt the developers that are present. It would give them less of a spotlight. It needs to be capped at around an hour. Anybody that doesn't make it though, whether that be just because I didn't feel like me and Barry are working on it together, but whether that be just because the submissions didn't follow guidelines or just weren't up to snuff, or if it's just because we just have too many games, I would like to offer any of those developers some extra sort of coverage that I could do for their game, if the game is up to snuff and is something that I'm interested in. I will talk about this in a minute actually, but there is another alternative there. Lentor asked, have you considered doing 2 monster taming directs per year given the recent growth in the genre? And then Jobot responded, or a similar special mentions extra one. And this is something that I have actually been thinking about. So a Monster Taming Direct twice per year, we tried in 2023. It didn't really work. We just didn't have enough reliable applications. But the idea of having a Monster Taming Direct and then a Monster Taming Direct mini in December is something I've considered. This mini Direct would be 20 minutes in length. And given how many submissions we have this year, I would not be against some of the devs that maybe, didn't make it in just because we have to have a list. Not everybody can make it. I could use those submissions in the mini Direct, or they could make some changes to the submissions to update them or whatever. And then I can kind of offer them a guaranteed spot at the mini Direct, which should still be as big as the regular Direct because it's just a smaller length version of the Direct. So I see a lot of people still watching. And then yeah, we can give priority to devs that weren't able to make it to the first one. So that could kind of balance that a little bit, because I do really want to give everybody a spotlight. But again, a 2-hour Direct, it just isn't how it's going to happen. It's going to hurt more than it's going to help. So I would definitely be up to that if I have enough developer interest. Someone wrote, Togap wrote, I personally think Gym Leader Ed should charge per submission. It would avoid last minute backouts and even give some funding to take time off work to focus on this. I know most would be against it, but Gym Leader Ed already does so much for the community. I appreciate that. I can't just take time off work. My job's not like that. For me to get time off, it's very difficult. But the reason I don't charge while some other channels do charge, even though they net less views, is because I want to give that spotlight to the developers that have in many ways made my channel what it is. Sure, I do run into issues with it being free because I will have like a lot of extra submissions from people that really shouldn't be submitting. Like I had an application from someone whose only social media was like one fan art Pokemon Fakemon, and they're like, "Oh, the game's a concept," and I'm like, "Well, I can't really do much with that." And like I don't know what you were expecting, but I do want to keep it free. That's something I do want to keep, have it be free. Let developers, you know, put in their applications and submissions and give everybody a fair chance. One thing I will say though is, again, a lot of YouTube channels do actually charge. So for one thing I do want to ask the developers is to be respectful of that. Like, I don't owe you marketing. I have felt in the past that a lot of developers, and this is not like 99% of the developers, this is the 1%, and these are usually developers that haven't actually released a game yet or haven't really contributed much to the genre, but there will be like developers that are in a really early state of their game that just expect the promotion. And I promote games for free. Like, that's the majority of what I do. There's even a joke a while back of like, hey, you should just pay other YouTubers to promote your game and just ask Ed to do it for free because he will. That's just how I am. Like, I've done sponsored videos, and like if a dev really wants like a spotlight like right now, and I have to like move around my stuff, sometimes I'll do like a sponsorship or something like that. But like I try to get to all these games for free. That's what I do. So no, I do not have any plans on charging for applications, but we are going to be, and this is Barry's idea, but we are going to probably be fusing applications with submissions. So to apply, you have to already have a submission ready. The reason we had it separate was because I wanted to get an idea of how many people were, you know, confirming an appearance at the Direct before making them make their trailers. Because if you guys don't know this, game devs love to procrastinate, and I get like 90% of my submissions on the last day. So let's say next year I have the submission deadline of August 15th. I won't know if the Direct is even happening until August 15th, when all of those you know, things come through. So we're gonna try to figure it out. Maybe we'll do like the application has like a submission section, and then prior to that we can have like pre-applications where people could show interest. But again, that still ends up causing like backouts and stuff like that. So we're gonna have to figure that out. But anyways, long story short is I'm not charging people, just to the developers that are participating. I would appreciate a little bit of tact when it comes to like which devs are gonna make it and stuff like that. I love to share your games, but you're also not entitled to that. The next question I got was from Fuzz Force, who said, why such a short turnaround between submissions and the event? Why not have a deadline for submissions be mid-July, giving around 6 weeks to make the Direct? Just sounds like there's a lot going on. That then chasing devs for assets and making an hour-long MTD in only 2 weeks seems like a lot of pressure. Basically, my answer to that is because even in that 2-3 weeks that I give myself between getting all the applications and submissions and making the Direct, I'll get devs constantly DMing me, asking me to change things. And when you have 30 different developers messaging you and trying to get like you to do little special individual things for them, it gets overwhelming. I don't do this full time. I have a full-time job. I've had to ease back a lot because of my health. So even when it comes to like answering emails and stuff, sometimes I only have time to get back to people like once a week. And that's just how it is. Like, YouTube isn't my job. YouTube is just something I do for basically for fun. But the other thing is, like, editing in 3 weeks is way more than enough time. I could edit the Direct in a few hours. You guys have seen my content. It's not heavily edited. I like that style. I think it's pretty chill, and I think my videos can be enjoyed just audibly. Obviously not the Direct. You have to watch the trailers, but I don't have a crazy editing style that I do. Like, my videos are pretty easy to edit, so the 2 to 3 weeks is fine, because like that gives me a couple days where I could just work on it. So that's why I don't give myself like a crazy turnaround time. I don't really need it. Yeah, so Okay, so next question is just going to be something that I get asked frequently, so I'm just like paraphrasing this. But a question I commonly get is, why haven't you given us a release date yet when the event is only a few weeks out? My answer to that is because I don't have every submission yet. There are a couple developers that needed extensions, and you guys are fans of this channel, you guys are fans of the genre. How many times have you seen something get delayed? How many times have we seen, oh, this game is coming out at this time, only for them to delay it year after year after year? Games keep getting delayed over and over again. I don't want to give you guys a release date until I have everything in my own hands, because then I can control that it'll come out. Because I know if I have everything I need, I will get it done. I will not delay it on you guys. But if I have game devs that haven't given me their stuff yet, I can't for sure say, hey, this is when the direct's going to happen, because they might ask me for another extension. And depending on the game, I might make an exception. It just depends, right? Depends on how much you guys want that game to be at the direct. And so that's why I haven't given a release date. Also, like, I'm aiming for Labor Day, which is September 2nd. That's in pencil. But I don't know when I'm working that day, because it's a holiday and we have like a sign up and I have to like sign up for that day. So even if I had like the day that I wanted it to be done, I still don't really have my work schedule with regards to like the time of the event, because I need to be off work and at home during the event so I can communicate with you guys, link Steam pages and chat as things are going on, and just have a good time like we always do. So that's why I don't have a release date for you guys yet. Stay tuned to the channel. I promise I will have one for you soon, but just trust me, guys. The way I do things is the way I can manage it in such a way that is best for the channel. I try my best, and that's why. Another common question I get is, why not just make the direct like multiple hours and just include everyone? Again, there's certain reasons why games don't get accepted. Having a direct that's too long just isn't good. And then on top of that, if I just accepted everyone that applied, half of the direct would just be literally like concept art, non-trailers. Like, trust me, guys, a lot of people don't read instructions. You don't want me to just accept everyone that applies. And even if I just accepted everyone that did follow the instructions, some games just aren't there yet. I've seen the way the community treats certain undercooked games. I don't want to expose developers to extra scrutiny for no reason. And on top of that, when you have a direct full of games that have had years of development, taking time away from them to just show off a bunch of games that have only been in development for a short amount of time and haven't actually like put in the same amount of resources into, not being just made up of a bunch of default stuff, isn't really fair. And again, time is something that we have to consider. The direct can't just go on forever, because where does it end? Another question I oftentimes get is, how are submissions sort of decided? Again, it's based on the quality of the submission, what it might add to the genre. Like, for example, if there's a game that does something that no other game does, right? Like something completely new, that's going to give it an edge. Like if it's on a platform that most games are not on, if it has like a cool and innovative idea, stuff like that. If it's a big announcement, like it's one thing to have a Monster Taming Direct trailer and just be like, oh, look at this new trailer. But it's another thing to be like, this is our release date trailer, right? So things like that give priority because it's more relevant news. So it's a big, like, we go through every single submission and then we sort of like decide which ones fit and which ones like are of the highest quality and stuff like that. Again, I would like to do a mini direct in the future, maybe get some of the games that might not end up making it through. I don't know how many cuts there's going to be. I have to like go through all the submissions still. My next day off is on Thursday, so I'll have a clearer picture then. But yeah, and then one question I get from a lot of devs is, why is your response time so long when we message you? So again, I do this part-time. This is not my full-time job. YouTube is not financially lucrative, to be honest. At least not when you're a channel of my size. I can't be in the YouTube mindset all the time. When I was uploading every single day, that was all I was doing. I gained like 100 pounds, which most of which I've lost. I've lost like 75, but I gained like 100 pounds. I would wake up, go to work, do YouTube, go to bed. Okay, I have a wife, I have kids, I have to stay active. My health was in massive decline. And then on all my little breaks at work, all I was doing was checking comments or scripting videos or responding to DMs from either fans or from, you know, developers asking me questions or whatever. It's too much. It was destroying my mental health. It was destroying my physical health. So when it comes to answering emails and answering people on Discord and stuff like that, I allot time when I'm free. I don't take YouTube with me everywhere I go anymore. I've learned the art of touching grass. I'm sorry it has to be this way, but unless y'all want to donate $1 billion to me so I can quit my job, that's how it's got to be. But yeah, those are some of the questions with regards to the Monster Taming Direct. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit weird. I've had like a massive migraine all day, and my brain's a little bit foggy, but I wanted to get this video out because like there's been some like I don't like most of the community, like 99% of you guys have been amazing about like me transitioning into less uploads and about me having to be a little more like slow with things because like, you know, I'm taking care of myself. But there has been a minute percentage of the audience, not even so much the audience, it's mostly like just aspiring developers and stuff like that have like felt like I should be doing more for them for free, of course, but I should be doing more for them, and I should be answering them when their questions are most of the time just things that were answered in the submission form, but they didn't take the time to read it, or just like you know, people asking me for coverage when I just don't have time to make videos about anything I want at any point in time when it's convenient for them because, you know, I'm busy. So I wanted to get this out just to tell you guys like I'm doing my best. The direct is coming. It's going to be great. I think it's going to be good. Again, we had some last minute cancellations that I'm really disappointed about. A couple of the games, in my opinion, that canceled like would have made the direct way better, but it's fine. I still think we have a solid roster so far. And to any developers that, you know, don't end up making this direct, contact me after. Let's see if we can't get your game showcased in an exclusive video. Let's see if we can't have you part of the second direct. I don't have to promote it as, oh, this game didn't make it into the direct. Like, I'm not gonna like publicly like be like, oh look, this game didn't make it. Like, we can have it be part of a separate event, you know, full of games that we're able to bring something forward in December, or like we can work something out to get you promotion, is what I'm trying to say. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. This is 18 minutes. It wasn't supposed to be. Goodbye.